Everyone, it's me, Raquel, again. So in this video, I'm going to do a video tutorial on how to use Nearpod for student-paced lessons. And this is done in light of the full home-based learning, in short, FHBL, here in Singapore. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick run through of Nearpod as an educational app, which personally, I really enjoy and love using. I've been using this for my face-to-face lessons in class, and then of course, in light of the COVID-19 situation, now we are on full home-based learning. I am also still using Nearpod. The only difference is I will use it in a student-paced kind of mode rather than a live lesson. Okay, so all right, so before we even start, we definitely need an account. So step number one is to go to nearpod.com and sign up for an account. So over here, of course, obviously, I already have an account. So this is what it should look like after you have signed up. Okay, just a note though, over here I'm using the gold account, which is a paid version, but most of the features should be also available using the basic version. Yeah, but of course there are some restrictions. Okay, so in this video, I will show you a demonstration of what I did for my Sec 1 NT science class, which I just did yesterday for their seventh day of their home-based learning. Okay, so yeah, so it is a Nearpod lesson for 1 NT science. Okay, this is the class code that I will be using. And then, of course, in order to access the lesson using this class code, we will need the Nearpod app. Okay? All right. So let's have a look over here. Okay, so this is a screen from my iPad. Okay, so as usual, I recorded my screen to show you. Okay, so yeah, I will go to the Nearpod app, launch it. This is how it will look like. So you'll see immediately that there is this thing that pops up, and you are supposed to enter the lesson code. Oh dear, let me start that again. I shouldn't have pressed outside. Okay, so anyway, just to say again, you need a Nearpod app that is for your students lah, who are assessing your lesson. Okay, so they can download on, let's say, an iPad, mobile phone, or even using the web browser version, that's fine. Okay, so similar to many educational apps out there, you will need a class code. Okay, so in the previous slide, I've shown you what is the class code. So I will type it in TXGHD, okay, a unique class code, and then you will join the lesson. Okay, so yeah, so immediately the lesson will start. So the students will be required to key in their names. Okay, so here I key in my name, and then immediately you will get to see the lesson package. Okay, so over here I just want to tell you that because it's student paced, right? So students can simply just press the left and right arrow buttons in order to navigate the lesson package. Okay, but over here you can see that you can tap that three bar thing at the top right hand corner over here, and then you will activate this drop down thing. Okay, and as you can see at one glance, students are able to see all the slides in this particular package. Okay, and yeah, that's helpful because they can jump slides, go back to it, and so on. Okay, so with the start of the lesson, usually we will activate students' prior knowledge, right? So do a quick check-in. So here I use the draw it function on Nearpod, to just basically, hi students, how are you feeling on this lovely Friday morning? We have come to our seventh day of full home-based learning. Use the space below to draw your thoughts. Yeah. So this draw it function, so later on I will demonstrate how you can use all these, okay? But let me just run through this demo lesson. Yeah, so as you can see at the bottom, there's a lot of pencils, stationery for you to choose from. There's a lot of colors. Yeah, so basically it's just a canvas for students to draw on. Yeah. And maybe let me just talk about it as I show you how you can use this. Basically, this is very helpful for subjects such as art, or even for my chemistry lesson, I use it for students to draw the dot and cross diagrams. Okay, so yeah, especially because now we are going full virtual, right, for our lessons. So having this canvas is useful for students to pen down their thoughts, uh, and usually, let's say, pen down their thoughts, they can type and so on, but certain things are better expressed through drawing it out and things like that. So this function is highly useful. Okay, so yeah, so this is what they did yesterday. So they drew their thoughts, um, and yeah. So once that is done, you can just click on submit. Okay. Okay, the video is a bit lagging. I don't know why. It's probably a very big file. Okay, next activity. Once they click next, they will go to this time to climb activity. Okay, so this is like a game mode, a quiz that is on game mode. And basically what I used this was for activating their prior knowledge. Okay, so this lesson was on air pollution, and before this lesson, they just concluded water pollution. Okay, so basically this is just to check their understanding and activate some prior knowledge. Okay, so and as you can see, this is the student view, right? It's really very exciting because like you're doing a quiz, but there's all these interesting graphics that comes along, and yeah, as you answer questions, you will proceed higher up in the mountain, or in this case, you're climbing up a planet. Yeah, so that's quite cool. So the good thing is also that they get immediate feedback. So for example, oh, okay, that you got the question correct, and if you don't, the correct answer will be shown to you also. Yeah, so it's very cute, right? How may we contribute to preventing and reducing water pollution in Singapore? Through educational campaigns, right? Tell others the importance of keeping our waterways clean. Yeah. So I just put in a simple 5 questions, just MCQ. Quickly activate their prior knowledge. Okay, then yeah, congratulations. So in a live lesson, right, this is even more fun because there's other players lah. Okay, but student pace, that should work well enough. Okay, then next part. So activate their prior knowledge ready. Now we come to the meat of the lesson, right? So this is the part where Nearpod is also amazing because you can import your slides into Nearpod, and it works like any other normal lesson, right? Introduction, lesson objectives. This one is credits to the publisher slides. Okay, so on top of that, you can also pump in your own slides. So for instance, over here, I have one slide inserted here in between the publisher slides because I wanted to have a bit of teacher voice, right? Because face-to-face lessons, you can give them instructions as and when you like, but here it's a bit harder. So you can put in a slide. It's like as if you are talking to them like that. So I'll be like, oh, students, take in a deep breath right now. Ask yourself if the air around you is feeling fresh or is it not. Okay, so you get what I mean? Like they will feel like as if the teacher is talking to them. Okay, so after the question is being asked, then I do a poll. Okay, so again, how's the air feeling right now where you are? Okay, then I give them a few options. Polling is you need to have the options lah. So I made a few ones over here. So I mean, if I want to be a cheeky student, I can choose number C. I can smell breakfast from the kitchen. Okay. Um, yeah. Then once you're done, you click submit. Okay, then the lesson will continue. And the good thing is all those responses gets collated by the teacher. Okay, and gets stored in Nearpod. Yeah, okay, then we will go on with the lesson. So yeah, same thing. So before full home-based learning, we have already preempted our students, right? We gave them all the hard copy notes and whatnot. So basically here, as they look through the slides on their own, uh, all these highlighted parts or bold parts, they have to copy down into their notes. Okay. Okay, then the next part will be, sorry, it's a bit lagging. My MacBook is the 2014 version, so it sure is on the verge of death right now. Okay, let's hope this
It
continues
should
to.
be a lot better. Okay, so this is yeah. So this is the web content, okay, the YouTube video that you can again embed into Nearpod, so everything can be done all in one in the Nearpod app. Okay, the student has no doesn't have to toggle between the different tabs, different screens. Okay, so they can watch the video as you require them to watch, and then in a normal face-to-face lesson we will usually accompany the video with some questions, right, for them to think about. So this can be done using another feature which is called the open-ended question. Okay, so for instance, what were the three causes of air pollution mentioned in the video? So in class we can just call names, so and so, could you please answer my question? But of course virtually, unless we are doing a live lesson, it's going to be a bit hard. So we can translate all these into words using all these tools. So yeah, so for instance, again from a student's perspective, right, this is what the student can do. So click on the text box and then type in their answers, right? Three causes of air pollution. So let's say smog, greenhouse gases, and then at that point I also kind of forgot what's the third one, but that's just how it is, right? We also can't expect students to know everything. So once they're done, they'll just click submit. Okay, then the lesson will continue. Okay, so carry on with the slides and everything. Then so if you notice the slides, I mean as usual, we would bold certain parts. So basically the students have already been given the hard copy notes for this chapter prior to full home-based learning. Yeah, so now they will just copy down. Okay, then this is the next part, which is exciting. I just tried this yesterday. So again, some teacher boys, let's now take a field trip to Sydney, Australia, to have a look at how air pollution will cause a city to look like. Okay, so this is Sydney. So this is really cool. I just tried this yesterday, right? Basically, it's a 360 degrees virtual reality uh, field trip lah. Okay, so the student, it's like you can imagine you are standing right there. Okay, that's the opera house, and yeah, you can have a look. You can see that the air is very polluted, right? You can zoom out to have a better view, and so on. So this is really cool lah. I mean, we could show videos and everything, but this is something that's quite out of the normal, and the students really enjoyed this.
Okay, so then within a click of a finger, then I can again quickly bring them to another place, right? So how sad to see the air pollution like this. So I can bring them now to Santorini in Greece, okay, to show them how things will be like should there be no air pollution. Yeah, so this is really fun. I mean, even for myself, because I mean, have been cooping up at home for 10 days straight, right? Because of the circuit breaker. It's really something nice to look at, right? So it looks quite real. I mean, you can't climb the stairs and join that moment there, but it's still nice in light of this whole situation that we are facing. Uh, yeah, so the students really enjoyed this. So uh, it's good to have lah. And I personally feel that it will be very good for humanities, those teaching history and geography. Yeah. Okay, so this will be the end of their Nearpod portion of the lesson. So this is a final note for them to make their way back to SLS, the student learning space, and complete the rest of the lesson over there. Okay, so I will catch them on the other side. But let me just finish off this part. So yeah, so this has been the Nearpod student paced lesson. Um, and the beauty of it is that since it's student paced, during home-based learning, they can, again, click that drop-down menu and then they are able to look through the lesson again at their own pace. Let's say if they miss out on a certain point or they really enjoy the field trip, the virtual reality field trip, they can always go back, join the session again, and yeah, look at all the materials. As long as it's within the deadline that the teacher has set. Yeah. Okay. In the next part, I'm going to bring you to SLS and we will continue from there. Okay, so this is we are looking at the SLS page. So this is the lesson package that I did for yesterday's lesson with 1T1 Science on 17th of April for air pollution. Okay, so maybe just a quick run through. So SLS is awesome, right? It really has all these tabs that are in place where we can quickly just in a few clicks uh, design all these things. So quick run through. First one, I use the custom one to make to have this section called admin matters and warming up. So basically at the start of the lesson, as per a normal face-to-face lesson, we would give students instructions, right? So students, please get ready the following materials for this morning science lesson. So whatever that they need. And because we also want to do some tracking to make sure that they do not just speed through this lesson package. So there are multiple checkpoints in SLS that I park these kind of MCQ questions. So like for example, for start, are you awake and ready to learn? So by them clicking and submitting the answers over here, I can know that they have seen whatever that's on this page. Yeah, and usually following that, I will remind them of their assignment from the previous lesson. So in this case, they have to do a poster on Canva to design a poster for water pollution. So I will remind them that they need to submit the assignment accordingly, in this case to share to my email. Okay, yeah. So next part, second part will be on activating learning. Okay, so this is the bulk of the lesson starting already. So to activate their learning at the start, okay, in this case, I like to use this W 5W1H routine with them because they are just Sec 1, okay, normal tech students. So getting them to think about whether they have experienced air pollution in Singapore and then using the 5W1H to bring them through this lesson. So for a start, I would use the thinking routine tool, interactive thinking tool, to get them to answer the first two questions. So where did this happen? So most of them will talk about the haze situation, right? And then who were they with their friends, with their family, and so on. So that's to activate their learning, get them to start thinking about what air pollution is about. And then third part will be promoting thinking and discussion. So this is the meat of the lesson, which I have showed you just now on Nearpod. Okay, so we will tell them to turn their attention to Nearpod, which is on their personal learning devices. So meaning, so all my classes they already know lah. Have they already have Nearpod installed in their phones or iPads. So yeah, okay. So they will run through the lesson, and they will be reminded to jot down the notes into their hard copy notes at home. Okay, so as what I've shown you, we will share the classroom code with them so that they can engage in their student-paced lesson accordingly. So after they have done with the lesson, which is what we're going to do now, right? We come back to SLS, okay, where they will now demonstrate their learning and we will facilitate that. Okay, so welcome back to SLS. We will continue the lesson from here. So earlier on, under activating learning, they have already answered the first two questions, where and who. And then now, after looking through the Nearpod lesson, they should learn some new things already. So they will be invited to think back to the scenario that they thought of at the start. Okay, so now they are able to answer the more higher level questions, right? So why do you think the air was polluted, as well as really pinpointing what are the exact factors that caused air pollution. Finally, the last part will be monitoring and providing feedback. So if you know me, right, I really love using Padlet for all these kind of collating students' answers, learning points, feedback, and so on. But that said, SLS, I must say, is still pretty amazing. It's also very easy to use all these making thinking visible, interactive thinking tool, and so on. It's quite easy. It's just that it doesn't look that fancy and you can't customize that much. But it's still good nonetheless. Okay, so do you have any question from today's science lesson that you would like Miss Young to clarify? So first column, I'll put one thing that I've learned from today's lesson, questions that you want to clarify, and then finally looking forward to the next lesson, what am I excited about? Okay, then as usual, I'll put in MCQ question again. I have completed all my assignments. They just need to check that so that we can track and monitor from the teacher's assignment view. And then, yeah, stop lesson for today. See you in the next one. Okay, so yeah, that is the run through of how this whole package looks like, with Nearpod being the main application that's being used for the bulk of the activities. But of course, we still integrate this into SLS because student learning space is still our main point of contact with the students. Yeah. This final segment of the video, I'm going to show you in greater detail the useful tools that you can use on Nearpod. Okay, so really going into the nitty-gritty details. Okay, so once you start a lesson on Nearpod, your design, basically there are just two main things to take note. So number one, you can add slide, and then number two, you can upload files. So number one, right, adding slide basically just means that you are doing your designing of the lesson on Nearpod itself. Whereas number two, uploading files, you are basically uploading things that are already in place from your own drives. So either your computer or Google Drive and so on. Yeah. Okay, so let's go into greater detail. So for this first part, which is on adding slide, once you click that button, immediately this thing will pop up. So you'll see there are a few things. You can add content, you can add web content, and you can add activity. So let's very quickly run through. So add content, there's really a lot of things. So wait, but a disclaimer, which I'm gonna say again, this particular Nearpod account that I'm using is the Gold version. It is the paid version. So I mean, I started off with the basic account like most of us have. So I am aware that some of these functions might not be available to basic account users. But that said, I have also found out that recently basic account users have access to some of these premium features as well. So I'm thinking Nearpod probably, in light of the COVID situation, they made granted access to some of these premium features. Okay, so then it's color coded, right? So the ones that are in red are the ones that I have tried. Yeah, so maybe just quickly run through. So for add content, you can add a slide, Nearpod 3D. Fat simulation. Fat simulation is very good for science subjects, right? So those science teachers, if you are a science teacher, you should know that fat simulation is amazing. So you can just immediately embed the fat simulation inside. Next is VR field trip, which I've shown you just a while ago. You can bring your students uh, using virtual reality, bring them to anywhere in the world and then get them to see the world. Yeah, so this is particularly useful for, I would believe, the humanities subjects, okay, history or geography, because now we can't bring them on learning journeys, right? So you can bring them on a virtual one. Okay, BBC video, Sway, slideshow, video and audio. This one I haven't tried, but from what I'm thinking in my head, I would think it's similar to what we have on SLS. So meaning, students can upload video or audio responses to whatever question that you have for them. So I would believe this is useful for languages, like if you want them to, um, let's say, read a passage or something. Okay, and then yeah, and so on. Second one, I always use it. This one is web content. It works just like what SLS has. So this is best for embedding YouTube videos. So basically, you just copy and paste the URL. And then finally, add activity. This is also very exciting. So for this one, I tried everything except Flipgrid. Okay, so let's quickly run through. So number one is time to climb. This one is quite a new feature. Back last year or even 2 years back when I first used Nearpod, I didn't see this around. Basically, time to climb is just a gamified version of the quiz mode. Yeah, so it's actually very fun. So just now you have had a glimpse of it, right? Mm. Okay, then open-ended question. Matching pairs. Matching pairs is I find useful for, let's say, primary school students. as well as maybe again the languages, like maybe you match the Hanyu pinyin to the Chinese characters or something like that. Yeah, matching pairs. And then quiz is the normal quiz thing. Draw it. Draw it is very good. So I use it all the time for chemistry because they need to draw certain diagrams, dot and cross diagrams and whatnot. I believe it's also used quite a lot for art teachers. For because it's a blank canvas and then with all the pencils, color palette and what, your students can really submit their assignments digitally. I just want to make a note that this draw it right is also good for let's say mathematics. Okay, so like let's say if you want students to draw a graph, you can just upload a graph paper, then they can draw it on the thing that you have. Next is collaborate. Collaborate is just like it's a bit like Padlet and Linoit. So basically, students will jot down their ideas on these virtual post-it pads, and then they will collaborate lah, basically. Poll, you can do a poll, fill in the blanks, and memory test. All these are like quite like SLS, quite the same. Okay, and alright, so that one is everything you do on Nearpod. Okay, then but you can also upload files from outside Nearpod. So this is best for uploading PowerPoint slides as well as PDF slides. So at this point, I just want to say, personally, I would prefer to upload PDF slides because you never know, right? PowerPoint slides sometimes because of the formatting issue, maybe you upload already, then everything will go haywire. But that said, so far I've not encountered any issues as yet. Okay, so we have come to the final segment of this video tutorial. So if you are still with me, right, that would be great because now I'm going to go through really step by step how I created this lesson package on Nearpod. Okay, so step number one, I'll click on upload files. Okay, so you click on this upload button, then immediately it will go to your folder in the computer. Okay, so usually I'll upload a cover page, cover slide, so to speak. Okay, then after that I will upload the slides. Okay, so again in this case, credits to the publisher slides for NT Science. Okay, so it will upload. Generally, it is quite fast as long as your Wi-Fi is stable. Okay, so in this case, if you upload a PowerPoint slide, I mean, if there's a lot of slide, obviously it's gonna take a bit of time. Okay, but not to worry because as they tell you, sit back and relax, right? You can continue to do your other stuff. Okay, so maybe at this moment, let me show you. I will add. Um, let's see. What did I do just now? I will. Oh, okay, that's fast. You see, so it appears already, right? Yeah. So all the slides are here. Okay. So now I'm gonna add an activity. Okay. Open-ended question. Okay. So remember earlier on I did a check-in, right, with them. Oh, sorry, not open-ended question. It's draw it. Okay, doesn't matter. So let's say for example I showed them a video, right, and then I wanted them to answer my questions based on what they have learned from the video. Okay, so then I will say what were the three causes of air pollution mentioned in the video. Okay, you should have taken some notes while watching the video. Actually, this one I know to show you, right? Okay, it's too much details. Okay, but never mind. So, okay. I just wanted to take this opportunity to show you this also. So you can add a timer. So let's say you don't want them to be on this page forever, right? So maybe you can add a timer. Let's say maybe I don't know 3 minutes. Okay, add. You can add a reference. So meaning you can upload a picture that goes with this question and so on and so forth. If you really want, you can also enable student audio recordings. Yeah, so basically as it is saying over there, right, your students can record audio and play it back for them to listen and learn. Yeah, so it's really very powerful. Okay, so then once it's done, just click save, and then you will realize that it will end up at the right at the very end of the um, page. So you can just move it around to bring it to wherever you want it to be. Okay, so just now I clicked wrongly, right? So it's already the order is already messed up. So let me continue with what I originally wanted to do. So okay, so the draw it one, right? I really want to show you this because this is really one of my favorites. So add activity, you click the arrow, then you go to draw it. Okay, so the thing will come out. Yeah. Okay, so right, just now remember I had a check-in session. So hi students, how are you feeling today? Use the space below to draw your thoughts. Right. Okay, so then again, you can add a timer. Let's say maybe you can give them a bit more time. Maybe let's say they can spend 5 minutes to draw, right? Then okay, so that's the limit. Then this is the part that I want to say, right? You can upload a background image. So like I said, for math teachers, this is very helpful because you can upload like uh, graph paper and so on. Okay, so I won't go into that so much. Let's move on. So that's the draw it thing. Okay, then yeah. So again, it will appear at the end. So you just have to shift it up accordingly to where you would love this to be. Okay, so for me, because it's a check-in, so it will come right after my cover slide. Okay, then after that, they will go with the slides. Okay, then remember I had the time to climb thing, right? Okay, so again, I will add activity, time to climb. Okay, so yeah. So like I said, this is basically just a gamified version of a quiz, right? So you can it's a bit like SLS like that. So if you know how to use the SLS function, right, this should look highly similar. So yeah, so let's say for example, what are the four national tabs of Singapore, right? Then you can put your answers here, local water catchment areas, uh, and so on and so forth, new water, right? You can add answers. So like a usual MCQ question, it allows for um four options maximum. Okay, so yeah, wait, I cannot multitask. Bottled water from Malaysia. Okay, then you will choose I mean, okay, my question is not making much sense now, but you get what I mean. So I'm just trying to show you this. So you can click the bubble to show what's the correct answer. You can shift things around as well, and so on and so forth. Okay, you can even choose your answer type to be images. Okay, then again, you can add reference images. You can have a timer. Let's say if this is a very simple MCQ question, then they probably only need like 1 minute. Then you can set 1 minute like that. Okay, then yeah, you can add question and so on and so forth. Okay, then save. Okay. Okay, delete. Okay, so let's say I have one question for the quiz. It's good to go. Press save. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then again, as usual, you shift it around as to where you want it to be. Uh, what else is there to show you? Let's see. Okay, add web content. So this is how you embed the URL. This one is very simple lah. So let's say if I were to let's say go to my YouTube channel, let's say I want to embed a lesson on covalent bonding, right over here. So I will copy, Control C, Command C the URL, then paste it here. You can press this to test the link to see if it works. If not, if you're confident, just press save. Okay, then again, it will just take a short while. Then it will be loaded. Okay, so that's web content. Yeah, over here. And okay, maybe I'll just show you. Let's see. Open-ended question. Yeah, all these are quite intuitive. Collaborate, poll. Yeah, all these are quite intuitive. Maybe perhaps just to show you the last one. Okay, last one, the field trip. Yeah, so this is the virtual reality field trip. So uh, they have a very good, pretty rich database of places lah. Okay, so yeah, you can basically make good use of it lah. So like let's say if at this point in time I really want to go to uh I don't know which one looks attractive to me. Let's say the Taj Mahal, right? I've not been to India. I mean I've been to India, but not the Taj Mahal. Okay, so I can click on that. You can have a preview. Um Yeah, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you will enter the VR, you can shift around, have a look. If this appeals to you, you want to use it for your lesson, then go ahead. Wow, this looks very nice. Yeah, okay, then you click done. Yeah, okay, so uh, that is it. So then you just save and exit, and then you are good. And then over here is how you uh, edit your title. Your title of the video is over here. Okay, that's it. That's about it. So Nearpod really is really very easy to use. Okay, let me go back to my cover slide here. It's really very easy to use. It's not difficult. Uh, I mean, thinking back to 2 years ago when I first started using Nearpod, it does take a bit of time to get used to. But after you are familiar with how to use all the different uh little activities that are inside, it is actually perfect because we have used things like Mentimeter, Padlet, Quizzes, Kahoot, and so on and so forth. But the thing is that all these are different apps, different uh, platforms. But for Nearpod, it is really a all-in-one. Yeah. So, I mean, of course, as a ending note, personally, my vision is really for our student learning space SLS to be like that. That would be really perfect. And then of course if we can do live lessons within SLS, that would be pretty awesome as well. But yeah, that is that. So hopefully this video tutorial has been useful in helping you to understand how to use Nearpod for student-paced lessons. So if I have the time, I'll do another video on how to use Nearpod for face-to-face lessons, but that's not a priority. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully the COVID-19 situation gets better and we can all go back to school. And then yeah, I will do that video and we can learn from that. Okay, so thank you for your time. Hopefully this has been useful. Okay, bye bye.